late zones and having to rotate into the next, trying to get your opponents taken out as quickly and as efficiently as possible is key.
Yeah, I can feel that combat nerf there, as well as those shots hit for about a total collective of 15 damage, usually hitting for a lot more. Maximo might be frustrated at that, but he does have a lot of mats and 3 elims going on to this stick circle rotation. We'll see if he can grab height as he 90s up, blocking off the competition. Very smart placements of floors as he moves up as well from tier to tier of height. He's going to start focusing down on the backside of Storm. That's instinct to a lot of good players at this moment now. 10 weeks of practice. You know exactly where to look when you're done rotating. Maximo now going up for that big call to take out this whole mid-ground layer. Can they find shots on this newly builded brick now? We'll see if he can get into a better vantage point. Psych looks like he might have died to the Storm, or got eliminated to the Storm when these guys were moving in. He got a little bit of a damage tag on him there. Maximo doing a really good job of keeping a track and eye on everyone in the Storm circle or in the zone at the moment.
Yeah, and Jaeyoung actually doing a really great job of tarping beside Maximo, making sure that where they're walking right now, because they are on ultimate high, is completely reinforced and they don't need to worry about being shot down. Maximo having a little bit of trouble here getting out of this Storm. Does take 2 ticks of Storm damage, but does recover nicely. Hits for 15. There isn't going to get a knock or an elimination, but it doesn't matter because Jaeyoung and Maximo are on maximum height. But look at Howl going up there in the baller, just maybe making a play for high ground, but maybe trying to pose as a little bit of a distraction against these two. Unfortunately, Howl does have to be careful because those ballers don't have as much health as they used to. Jaeyoung raining down shots at this point. They aren't really going to be getting anything right now. They need to do something at this point. There are still 16 players alive. They only have 5 eliminations between the two of them, which is great, but there is only 1 spot shy, so every point matters. These guys need to be fragging right now.
Absolutely, and pop-off games are always a thing as well, so you got to be playing the best you can on each game, and the best is good for Maximo as he gets a nice 3-tap off in the air, getting that elimination. A quick wall replace edit with pressure, a rift available, but he decides not to actually take the rift as well, holding height for his duo to come back down and then possibly looking back up for the beam. Just high IQ plays here as white damage is on his enemies. Devi goes down, 60 hertz not being enough to let him see the right play. Jaeyoung moving around, 7 elims for this duo together. Still more people rifted up in the air. A gift from Devi there, that rift that just allowed these guys to get that high tier, once again taking out all those high ground mid tarps. Gibby and Temple now on that high mid tarp as well, moving in. Pookie, they've got so much healing and a rift on deck as well. How would you segment out using this stuff near the end of the game?
Well, at this point, what I would be doing, they're doing it perfectly. They should be popping minis and then using the chug splash there to get themselves each up as high as they possibly can. Each one of those are healing for 20 HP, and it does have that area of effect, so using that as soon as you can is going to be great. But I like to see that they are able to actually take out a player as well. So Jaeyoung does take a little bit of damage, but he is going to get the 50 siphon off of that. It will bring him back up to 200 HP. Maximo and Jaeyoung looking very strong right now, taking out another player, absolutely just bodying these players in this lobby.
You talk about Maximo, he's playing at the maximum potential at the moment from this high ground. Nevelak at the bottom with Pash. Looks like it's going to be a classic 2v2, but Jaeyoung has that momentum at the moment. Pash going to be looking for some shots, not being able to connect too much at the moment. Nevelak getting knocked down. Pash in a 1v1 now. Jaeyoung going for the finish. Both players actually going for the finishes for their respective HP. He's taking a lot of shield damage. Doesn't look like he has any more mats to use. Pash up top. Jaeyoung using that backup rift. Is it the right decision? We'll find out in just a moment. Any tree to land on, anything. Jaeyoung taking a lot of shots. Does he have a landing spot? 1 second left. The chug splashes coming in. Is it enough? Pash hit the Storm. Oh my lord. Jaeyoung. The last second clutch. The chug splashes. The 3rd time we've seen it today, and probably the most clutch we've seen it as well. As he gets the top spot. Most IQ I've seen in a high ground hold ever from any region so far today. Holy moly guacamole.
Holy moly guacamole indeed. That was absolutely wild. Recognizing that he still had those 2 utility slots that he hadn't used, the rift to go and the chug splash, playing that perfectly. Somebody needs to clip that on stream. Please shout it out to me or Shy at PookieFace, hashtag Fortnite World Cup. I want that one to go on my little wall of clips that I have on my desktop at home, because that was amazing.
Yeah, not only using that rift to relocate, but then popping off those chuck splashes as well, isolated. Talking about isolated now, Vibes finding someone on the low ground as well, once again utilizing these vertical positionings that happen. A trap coming down, looks like it takes out the ball that Kickback had, or the ball that was in their turtle at the moment. More focus coming down to the same place they got an elimination earlier. This is smart, as they know someone is going to be going for that loot. They can use it kind of as a set trap or bait for people to come in and see. Slipstream's still up and alive right now. You think anyone can catch them as they're moving around? Rexy's actually taking a little bit of damage going through.
Yeah, and there's so much building here. You know, if you do want to utilize the slipstream, you could possibly do it and land on top of any one of these players' builds, but really nobody in there right now. We're taking a look at Iota, and we have Vectical here as well, looking very, very good. And like, they do have that new proximity grenade launcher there. How are you feeling about that item so far in the game?
So the Proxim launcher is very interesting just because it does pack such a wallop, but at the same time takes an essential slot that everyone already has, you know, determined for their playstyle and their, you know, building, their rotations. So at the moment, although it is a very strong item, it's very situational, and you do have to give up, you know, say smokes, a heavy sniper, stuff that's been true and tested. It still is a very new item, in my opinion. Duos have been using it to turn tides, but at the same time, you know, which duos are we not seeing, because they do get eliminated at some point in the game. Just like right now, you see Iota going up with Vectical at the moment. 2 shadows and a Proxim launcher still available at the moment. Will they get the wall replaced? A stink, no, Chuck Splash is coming down as his duo holds. This is a very dynamic fight. An edit coming through. Angel coming up with the pop, but does finally go down as he gets picked up. Aspire goes down as well. Now Iota has to move out by himself. Unfortunately, his duo does go down in that engagement, but they do pick up those 2 Elam points. So will that be worth it going forward? Would it be better for both of them to stay alive for placement, or would it be better for those Elam points to come through and then the possibility of a solo person playing for placement? Pookie, what do you think?
I mean, Iota certainly has his work cut out from him. There's still so many players left in this lobby. I think at this point he is in mid-ground, so if he can lay low for a little while, hope that these other players kind of take each other out, eliminate each other, he can kind of sneak in under the radar. If he does opt to go for placement points, that would probably be his best play. But here we are looking at Dade again. Johnny is still alive as well. 46 points so far on the leaderboard for these boys. They also have 3 eliminations between the 2 of them. I am waiting for these guys to pop off, Shai.
They're almost at their natural element. High ground is where these guys perform. We saw it last game. They're so good at just looking down, just like this. Morton getting popped. Now they're just looking left and right. 23.76 ping won't be enough for that individual to stay alive. Fab's now fighting for height, decides to slow down. Him and his duo actually look like they're up there. No, that is a fight happening. A lot of rifters now coming down left and right. Golden, actually, a lot of hard mats now being used. It's going to be very hard for people to just pickaxe in the boxes. It's going to take a little bit more time. Once again, now they're going to be choosing to stay on mid-ground, not fighting for height just yet. They do have a lot of mats, so maybe they're waiting for the rest of the lobby to use all their mats in these fights, then take it. 90's coming in now. We'll see if Dada can go up top. Johnny already up there. He's going to be adjusting his path left and right. Not only does this give him the movement option, but the angles for the shots as well, as he's going to be sneaking behind using enemy builds, finally catching up. On the backside, a big 130 shot going down on Golden, all the way getting dropped to bronze now. Unfortunate for him. Shots getting